we need to talk about YouTube. And we need to talk about YouTube in the sense that this is one of the reasons why I have been doing the experiments in other channels. And the experiments have to do with censorship. And you know that I was telling you that in the Power Pundit channel, my Power Pundit channel, we could have unfiltered conversations about politics. And the unfiltered was mainly, I got intense sometimes with the F words and other words that were maybe improper for not family friendly, and that was maybe the knack. Now I am in my Body Language Guy channel. My Body Language Guy channel has to be family friendly. That is a promise I want to keep. But I'm going to tell you at the end of this section something that you need to talk about YouTube and censorship. We have this. Ben Shapiro was reporting, and Tucker Carlson also mentioned it, and I don't remember who was the other. There were many of them. Essentially, anyone who is on YouTube and is not pro-Kamala, and it's pro-Trump, and it includes, of course, your friendly neighborhood, the Body Language Guy, the neighbor, the friendly neighbor, the Body Language Guy. And we have this. If you were wondering what the legacy media would plan for its October surprise, wonder no longer. It's here. Today, I received the following text from a reporter at New York Times. The New York Times is making a hit piece on YouTubers. What kind of YouTubers? The YouTubers that I could say that I now belong to, that I am no longer, let's say, neutral in terms of politics. I needed to come forward and say what I thought about Kamala Harris and Tim Walz and everything that is happening behind them. And of course, I fell into this list. What is this list? Well, the New York Times wants to make some kind of expose about content creators, especially on YouTube. You know that is the biggest, the largest video hosting platform, in which YouTube is not really a video hosting platform. YouTube is indeed a search engine. Okay, by definition, YouTube is, of course, is our go-to source for videos. But YouTube, in its very essence, is a search engine. You come to YouTube not only to watch videos, but to search for information. And of course, if you need a tutorial on how to bake a cake, or maybe some kind of app that you need to manage or something like that, you will come to YouTube and you're going to search for it. And we were talking about that yesterday with the conflict of Google and YouTube, that they were hiding, throttling, erasing the full Joe Rogan Donald Trump interview from its search, which is despicable because that is essentially election interference. How can you look for Joe Rogan, Donald Trump, and not get the full interview? That is election interference. So what is precisely the New York Times doing, says Ben Shapiro? It's perfectly obvious. Using research from Media Matters, a radical left-wing organization whose sole purpose is destroying conservative media, in order to pressure YouTube to demonetize and penalize any and all conservatives 1 week before the elections. This is serious. And this is something that this is the thing that one of the reasons why I was doing that experiment with my Power Pundit channel, where I reached more than 8,000 subscribers, thanks to you. And I decided to make the experiment of doing the live streams here. The live streams here, you know that the experiment has to do with notifications, in which one has to be careful with the daily notifications, because if you can essentially, YouTube as a content creator, if you notify too many times to your subscribers, then they end up getting no notifications at all for that day, and that resets for the next day. So one has to be careful. So that was a good plan, to have the lives on the Power Pundit and then republish the videos here. So I can republish them in any order, and I did not have the notification of the live here. I know it is a bit complicated. I'm trying to make it simple so you understand the rationale of my decisions. But then something happened yesterday. You know that I already had achieved on the Power Pundit the amount of subscribers, the amount of videos, and the amount of watch hours to apply for monetization. And you know that I have monetized like 4 or 5 channels already. My Spanish channel, my pop culture channel, and other channels that I have, the Royal Rogue channel, was all those channels were like 2 days. They only took 2 days to monetize. They were approved, no problem. But I noticed that I requested monetization for the Power Pundit. And you know what the content in the Power Pundit was. You know, the hardcore pro-Trump, anti-Kamala and Walz. And then 1 day passed, and a second day passed, and third day, and then 4, 5 days, 6 days. And okay, it can take up to 1 month, they say, but it had never taken more than 48 hours, especially if you have a lot of people watching. And I had a lot of people watching. I have very healthy, much healthier live streams in terms of viewership than in the Royal Rogue when it started. And then I got the notification yesterday. Your channel is not approved for monetization. Funny thing is, I was expecting that. And that's what I'm telling you. In terms of YouTube, I have done so many experiments in YouTube throughout this almost 5 years as a YouTuber. I knew what was coming. I already knew that something was odd. I was not approved the monetization. And those were the only difference were the F words. You know, the all these strong words, the R-rated vocabulary that I used, because I just grabbed the same videos. You remember the same topics. You have seen that. I grabbed the topics and I republish here on the Body Language Guy channel. All right, the same topics. You have seen that. You have seen it in the past 2 weeks. But my feeling, I have a feeling, is that the subject matter of the Power Pundit was too spicy for YouTube. And I don't mean the harsh words. I think that they were, I don't think it, because you remember that those were really long lives. It's not that I started a live and began to spew a lot of bad words right out of the gate. Maybe it was like 1 hour in, 2 hours in, and I said it a couple words and that's it. Are you going to refrain a commentary channel just because of I say what 5 F words in 2 hours? No, that doesn't work like that. There has to be more to it. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. I'm always 2 steps ahead, making these crazy experiments. Oh, why are you making another Twitter account? Why do you have so many Instagram accounts? Why do you have so many YouTube channels? I always making experiments. I'm always keeping track of them because I know how this works. I know what is the interest of everyone here, and it's obvious that if YouTube and Google are not only trying to throttle or hide whatever Joe Rogan did with Donald Trump, and they're again trying to push the impact of that Puerto Rico joke and hide whatever Biden said about garbage, then you know what you're dealing with. And you might tell me, Jesus, then why don't you leave YouTube completely? Well, there's the easiest reason. YouTube is the biggest platform in the world. It's hands down. Twitter is trying to compete. I'm sure that Elon Musk will bring Twitter to being a great contender in terms of video, and I'm developing my Twitter mojo as well there. But there is a better approach to this. You know that if you have seen my videos of the Body Language Guy channel, you have seen that I have covered many topics. I have talked about Bill Gates. I have talked about Anthony Fauci. I have talked about politics. And nothing wrong has happened. and why nothing wrong happens? Well, it is precisely because let's say I know how to handle myself. And you might say, well, but what if YouTube is throttling your content? And I need to disagree. I need to show you some stats of my channel, which would be enlightening, so you can see how I made sure to send a message without being censored by YouTube. This is the way I do things. You notice that my channel cannot be more anti-Kamala, right? And you see many of my videos, some have 40 minutes long, 1 hour, 15 minutes long, 13 minutes long. And the views, well, I don't think I have suffered any throttle whatsoever, because I know how the platform works. So the idea is not that you're going to leave, I'm going to leave YouTube. You see, I have many videos, many Kamala videos with more than 300,000 views, which is a healthy amount of views. It's a nice amount of views, and even one who almost broke the 900,000. How? Because I know how this works. I know YouTube's terms of service. And as long as I abide by YouTube's terms of service, then there will be no problem. That's the game that you play. And why am I playing this game? Because this way I can reach more people with my message and can help you understand how all this manipulation and gaslighting works. This is the game that I play. I abide by YouTube's rules. It works nice for us. But what happened with the Power Pundit? The Power Pundit was pushing, let's push the envelope. I don't know what is this expression of that. It's like taking it a bit too far. Let's see what happens. I'm going to take this a bit too far. And I said, it's interesting. Maybe if I keep my content a bit, not every single political video, but also add other videos, and here in the Bottle Language Guy channel, not all my videos are political. That is one thing. That is something that is healthy. Every now and then, today, for example, we should, taking this into account, we should talk about some upcoming pop culture things that are saying, but only just for reference. That would keep the Bottle Language Guy channel healthy. I would not be talking about, this is a political channel. No, I'll talk about these topics. These topics are trending, so I'm talking about them. And so the same as I did about Meghan Markle. But I will keep my channel family friendly, and I will talk about these topics from my professional perspective as a human behavior analyst. But this is what I wanted to show you what is going on. It's very delicate, and let's say finishing the idea of Ben Shapiro, that's the entire game here. Run an article in America's most trusted newspaper that declares pretty much every major conservative purveyor of misinformation on YouTube, thus strong-arming YouTube into taking action against conservatives. That's the way. That's the approach that one has to have. One has to be smarter than that. This isn't about election misinformation. Obviously, as pretty much everyone knows, I have always acknowledged, this is Ben Shapiro, that Joe Biden won the 2020 election. As if it's election misinformation to point out the rigging of the voting rules for election 2020, well, he doesn't find that fair. And by the way, even if someone does think Joe Biden didn't win the election, that is still protected speech under the First Amendment. Yeah, but you know that YouTube's algorithm and Google's algorithm, they will choose to do whatever they want. But if you are intelligent enough, you can, well, you you will be fine, especially with an audience so beautiful, so wonderful as you. But that's the point. You don't have to provide this information to be the target. You just have to support Trump. This is totally scandalous. In 2020, the legacy media shut down dissemination of the Hunter Biden laptop story and laundered the claim that it was Russian disinformation, all to get Joe Biden elected. In 2024, they are even more brazen. They're openly trying to intimidate YouTube, one of the most dominant news platforms in America, into shutting down anyone who isn't pro-Kamala. I would not cry that way because, again, I have the receipts to say that, no, if you know how to play the game, you can reach a lot of people, enlighten a lot of people, get your message out there, and YouTube will even be happy. YouTube wants views. And if I can talk about my views, oh, pun intended, my opinions, and YouTube can get the views, then everybody wins. Again, it's important that you download my body language tips in the description, so we are in contact by email, just in case. Again, understand the mission from these supposed guardians of free speech and American liberty. Silence the opposition the week before the 2024 election. Again, the idea behind this is to try to explain a bit not only what is happening in terms of the First Amendment, free speech in general, because this has to be on a global scale, and of course, what content creators have to deal with. I don't think the idea is just leaving these spaces. We fight in an intelligent way. I could look very, I don't know, my suit, my tie, but I like a guerrilla approach to things. And that guerrilla approach is, doing experiments all the time and making sure that no matter how, I bring you the best content, the best opinion, and the best entertainment as well. But I still want to know what you think about this in the comments. Again, remember to download my 100 body language tips. You will be subscribed to my email list. If anything happens, we will be there. We will be there through email.